and welcome back. Today's video is about chemical reactions. Let's get started. Chemical Reactions 101. What exactly will you learn from this video? Well, you will learn about describing a chemical reaction, how to balance a chemical equation, and how to classify the different types of chemical reactions. Moving on. Describing chemical reactions. What exactly is a chemical reaction? Well, it's a process in which substances interact, causing the formation of new substances with new properties. How many chemical reactions are there? There are only 5 types of chemical reactions: combustion, single replacement, double replacement, decomposition, and synthesis. Lastly, always remember, chemical equations can provide a lot of information in very little space. For example, not only does it tell us whether energy is used or given off, it also tells us the states of the reactants and products. Next, we will learn about balancing chemical equations. A balanced equation has equal numbers of each type of atom on each side of the equation. The law of conservation of mass says in a chemical reaction, the total mass of the reactants equals the total mass of the products. For example, H2 plus O2 equals H2O. 2 atoms of hydrogen plus 2 atoms of oxygen yields 2 atoms of hydrogen plus 1 atom of oxygen. This equation is not balanced. This means that there are unequal numbers of atoms on each side. The answer to this equation would be to place a 2 in front of the first hydrogen, a 1 in front of the first oxygen, and a 2 in front of the product. Next, we will learn about classifying the 5 different types of chemical reactions. First, we have combustion. A combustion reaction is when oxygen combines with the substance and releases energy in the form of heat and light. An example of this kind of reaction involves methane gas and oxygen. Next is single replacement. This is when one element replaces with another element in a compound. Then we have decomposition. A decomposition, aka splitting apart reaction, is the opposite of a synthesis reaction. A single compound breaks down into 2 or more elements or new compounds. Next, we have double replacement. This is when the cations and anions of 2 different compounds switch places, forming 2 entirely different compounds. And lastly, synthesis. A synthesis combination reaction is when 2 or more reactants combine to produce a single product. Lastly, we have this video. Hope you guys enjoy.
Hi, and welcome back to Chemical Reactions 101. We have a few terms that we should know before continuing. First, reactant. A reactant is a chemical present at the start of a chemical reaction that is used up during a reaction. The next term is product. A chemical that is produced during a chemical reaction. Next, we have word equation, a way of describing a chemical reaction using the names of the reactants and products. Lastly, we have chemical equation, a way of describing a chemical reaction using the chemical formulas of the reactants and products. Now that you know the terminology, we will have just enough time to learn about combustion. Please take your time and write down the following on the screen. If you need more time, you may pause the video. Combustion occurs between a fuel and an oxidizing agent that produces energy. This energy is usually in the form of heat and light. And the easy way to identify if an equation's reaction is combustion is to examine the equation and look for CO2, carbon dioxide, and H2O, water. If the equation has the above compounds, then it has a combusting reaction. Combustion is also referred to as burning. Some may believe that burning a candle is not considered combustion because the entire candle is not burned. However, the chemical equation for burning a candle depicts otherwise. The chemical equation contains the 2 compounds, carbon dioxide and H2O, water, which are both indicators that combustion has taken place. Also, just because a candle isn't burned completely, the act of burning the candle itself demonstrates combustion occurring, given that the chemical compound, carbon dioxide, is present. Therefore, burning a candle is considered an example of combustion taking place. Thanks for watching, guys. There is a worksheet attached. Check your answers at the end.